While others celebrate the wins,
Yes.
we celebrate the mud.
each episode has a special guest.
Tony-nominated actress, Broadway's Lily Cooper.
Tashir Zameda.
David A. Gregory.
Getting messy with muddy topics.
We are going to be talking about grief journey.
With hilarious moments
Now get over here.
And deep conversations.
I'm ashamed to even admit this, but this is what happened.
This is Into the Mud.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Into the Mud Podcast. While others celebrate the wins,
We celebrate the mud.
yes.
We're coming to you from the Barrel Lounge at the Mall in West Village with our wonderful guest, Casey Balsham.
Hi.
Yes.
She's here.
Saying
She's
hi to
here,
the
folks.
audience.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
The
you.
audience.
She's here with
in-house
leopard
audience.
I didn't know there was going to be fans.
I know, this whole look is so cute.
I know, it's incredible.
Thank you so
The
much.
denim, the leopard, and I really am obsessed with the beanie.
Listen,
Well, you're
I
one
was-
of my favorite vintage queens. You had actually a very funny reel yesterday about shopping in Urban Outfitters in the 90s.
I did my, no, that was yesterday, but it was, it's full.
Yesterday was the
the
90s.
90s.
Go to Urban Outfitters right now. It's
I know.
It's offensive.
Tommy spaghetti straps, the belts.
The belts, the tiny jeans, they had like
Jorts.
the slip skirts, the off the shoulder sweater, the
Jinko jeans.
the borderline, but like the lace tank tops, like it.
The camisole.
I
A
go
going out top.
I go, yes. Remember Nordstrom had like every color and you'd layer them? Oh. I do my biannual pilgrimage to walk through Urban Outfitters just to get sad. And and I did it yesterday and decided to film it. And you know what's so funny is like I realized when I'm filming it, I'm watching back, I'm like, I look so fucking old. As I'm walking through being like, the children are sick. And it's like, I just look like this old woman that's like covering the graves with a hat. Like, what is this? I look very back in my day.
Oh,
if
yes,
I
I
can
love
say
it.
so myself.
The low-rise jean, like the 90s trends that I thought we said goodbye to. Or like early aughts too.
Yeah.
Like
It looks
All coming back.
disgusting.
Literally, it looks like 1999 to 2001, and you're just like, it was ugly then, and it's ugly
Hideous
now.
now. Everyone just, what are we doing?
You have no
not
business.
Constantly
We
in
killed
the 70s.
this for you. We
yeah.
killed this for you so that you could be a
Yes.
comfy queen, and you're
You
throwing
four
on.
locoed so we could
Yeah,
like
we Red Bull
That's
vodka
your-
so that you could White Claw in the park.
Yeah.
Yes. That is absolutely
That's your merch,
right.
isn't it?
That's my merch. Yeah,
That's brilliant merch because it is so accurate.
Yeah.
it's like
Did you ever
we
Four
trouble
Loco?
shot. We trouble shot this.
No,
I never
we
Four
used to do
Loco'd.
I was a girl too.
Sparks. Do you remember Sparks?
yes.
Sparks was basically like a canned Red Bull vodka
Yes.
and or Four Loco. But it was, oh man, you'd get awful heartburn. It tasted like Smarties, but it was like a caffeinated. and
Clearly
it, like,
for children.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the way that they now
But
they
we
have
would get shit-faced off of
beatbox,
that.
which is
Beatbox.
it's the same. It's,
Oh,
it's what
it's
the
in a
kids are doing
cardboard
now.
box?
In a cardboard box. They don't even put it in the fridge. They just put it like in an aisle. Beatbox. That's what the kids are doing
Like
now.
eggs in Europe.
Like anything in
And
Europe.
milk.
They don't even
Anything in
have
Europe.
refrigerators there.
Oh my God, the
If they
lack
do,
of
they're like this
refrigeration.
big.
Insane.
It's spooky, but hey,
wild.
they're doing
They don't
great.
even have
They're-
ice.
All of Europe's a blue zone at this point. so.
Yeah.
Nobody's dying from food there, so
That's true.
Wow.
they're doing something right.
Oh my gosh.
I love this. So you and I know each other through the comedy world.
sure do.
But I'm trying to figure out when I remember.
Did you meet in Chicago or New York?
No, we met
No,
here.
here.
You met
Yeah.
here?
I remember a
Yeah.
few years ago we met, and I remember watching your set and like losing my mind. And then you also just were dressed impeccably,
Oh,
as
thanks.
always.
Thanks. I know. I always noticed you always had these like cool, like you had that jumpsuit with the back cut out because you were
Yeah, the
hosting
pink
a
one.
lot.
Yeah.
So I'd see you and you're hosting a lot, and I was like, this girl. I was like, okay,
Let's go.
this girl. Let's go.
You can tell. You can tell the people who are
yes.
you're vibing.
Yep.
Like you can really like.
Yep.
And then when you watch them go up, I've had several friends. My friend Hattie, my friend Kristen. I've like where I watch them and I'm just like, let's go.
Get it.
Like,
Yep.
let's go.
Yeah, I could tell that with you.
It's just like
I love
it's
it.
just it's
you
the
kind
vibe.
of like you came in, you were immediately in the clubs and you were immediately hosting, and I was like, I don't even care. I'm not even mad.
Not even mad. I don't even hate this
You know?
woman.
No, I don't even hate her. You know, normally when somebody comes in, you're like, who the fuck you think you
this?
are? Oh, you're from Chicago?
Oh,
okay. But you came in
cool.
and I was like, no. Just like you came in like you had just always been there.
Oh, I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah.
We love
You
that.
vibed in.
We vibe.
You're
I vibe
natural.
right in.
You vibed
Right in.
right in.
But yeah, and then we've gotten
Yeah.
close over the last year or so. And you,
Came, you hung with the baby.
I came home with a baby.
How old is your baby?
She's almost 20 months now, which is about a year and a half in regular speed.
She
Are you going to be
is.
like, she's 89 and a half months?
No,
Like,
once they
okay.
hit 2, you
Okay,
know,
once they
I
hit
think
2,
you
that's
go.
it.
Yeah.
But it is like funny because you hear other people do it and you're like, that's stupid. And then you realize that like the difference between like 12 months and 15 months though is so
significant.
great
Wild.
Yeah.
that
It's
it would
pretty
be like
wild.
offensive to call her 1 at like 50. Like I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, she's 15 months.
She's 15
And now
months.
she's
She's the
Yes.
cutest.
She's really special.
What's her name?
Her name is Goldie.
Goldie. After
Yes.
Han?
Uh,
Goldie Hawn?
yeah, I mean that's like, I love that.
It's a
I
beautiful
love
name.
that.
I
We
love
kind
that
of
name.
we kind of more were like it sounds like an old Jewish woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, which she will become.
Goldie.
So
She
it'll
will be.
fine.
Goldie.
Yeah.
I love her.
Goldie, yeah,
My-
and she's such a Goldie. Like she
Great
came out golden.
aunt was Golda.
Yeah,
That's
Golda,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Norma, Golda, and Doris.
Oh,
Ooh.
what a trio! Thank you
Wait,
for
am
being
I
a
messing
friend.
that up?
I want a movie about them.
Right?
I know.
They sound
Norma. God, love
I
Norma.
low-key love the
Norma
name
Faye
Norma.
Lyon.
great. What a great name.
Can you
That's
even?
an amazing.
Isn't that
name.
an incredible name?
That's
Yeah.
impeccable.
Yeah.
Norma Faye Lyon?
Yeah, Lyon. That's
that's
what
a-
my little tattoo is.
That's a great last name.
It's an incredible.
Lion.
Yeah, the lion.
Sounds like
want
a
it.
celebrity name.
Right?
It
I
does.
was thinking of like
Maybe
Norma
I'll change
Desmond
my
from
name.
Sunset Boulevard, but it's
Yes.
very like Norma Faye Lyon.
Norma Faye
Desmond?
Lyon.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
speaking of, let's
yeah.
get
you're,
this Broadway.
You're a Broadway queen.
I am.
Talk to me.
yeah,
I love it.
this.
I'm starting a new podcast called It's Broadway Bitch because I feel like
love it, I love
everybody
it, I love it.
that talks about Broadway is just so stiff and they're just so like, as my friend called it, like just blowhardy. And I just want to like have fun with it. I think it's fun. I think these are fun people, and I don't really care how anybody started. I just want to know like more about them. It's like people like, what's your Taco Bell order? What do you do when they call places and you have to go poo poo? Like there's things that I
just
want
talked
to
about this
know.
yesterday.
Yes, like there's
love
questions
this.
that I have. What Jellicle cat are you most sexually attracted to?
Oh my
Like,
God, these
there's
are all
lots-
really valid questions.
Yes, and I say they say a lot about a person.
They
Do you know
do.
what I mean?
Yes.
So but I see everything, and it's like I've seen everything for years, and I've always had this like in the back of my head that like this is what I want to do. Like I'd like to just do a comedic take and like eventually my dream would be to like go to opening, do red carpet type stuff. So we're trying, 2025 is the year of
that.
abundance. We're putting it out there.
It is
putting
the
it
year
out.
of
We're
abundance.
I want to be a voice in the community, and so I'm trying that.
Love
But
it.
but I
Here we
have
go.
seen
We
Sunset
have
Boulevard twice.
I have not seen it yet.
Okay, go
I've
see
had no time, but I'm dying
I'll
to
go.
see it.
I'll go
Go
with
see
Let's
you.
do it.
Go see it.
Absolutely.
Go-
And don't sit at the St. James. The balcony of the St. James sucks.
Yes.
So spend the money and go down there.
And go down.
Go
Okay.
down.
Go down.
Okay.
Go down.
Go on
Or
down.
do you do musical theater or do you just do comedy?
I did.
Okay.
I did musical theater when I was younger. I did a one-woman show a couple years ago where I sang a couple songs, and I was a theater major.
I didn't
so
know
like
you
I've
sang
always-
in that.
I do. I not in Inconceivable.
Okay.
So I wrote a show about infertility. I didn't sing in that. Could you imagine? I was like, I can't be pregnant. Oh, no, but I did a show at the Duplex, and it was about like
Ye old
at
duplex.
the yes,
Yeah.
and it was about just like all the different jobs I've had and why I wasn't qualified for anything and how ultimately I don't care. And I sang like a sultry version of 9 to 5.
Sexy.
And then me and my friend Bradley wrote this song about waiting tables because it was at the end of the day it was kind of a love letter to working in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is
Yeah.
this is where all my friends come from.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I've had all these dumb jobs, but like at the end of the day, you can
The best
always-
people are-
the best
yeah.
people are restaurant
Best people.
Yeah.
So I sang in that a little bit, which was fun.
Oh.
But
Wow.
yeah. Besides that, it's just mainly a lot of singing, like in my home, and in my shower.
I know that about
love
you.
it.
To my husband.
Wow.
Where did you go to school for theater?
Long Beach State University.
Work.
You know,
Yes.
just the very acclaimed theater school, Long Beach State.
Was it musical theater? Was it theater?
No,
was
it
it,
was
a BA?
like-
was it a BFA?
It was a BA. It was
that
like
it matters,
It was
but-
theater.
Not that
it
it
was
matters.
like,
like you were. It
was
was
like-
Chekhov and Shakespeare and like
yes,
acting.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
But we did have this thing every Friday, which was cool. That was called Showcase. So every Friday morning, it was like a student either written or a student directed. Like you could pick an actual play, you could write a play. So I wrote a couple like sketch comedies for that, and so that was really fun because that's where you got to kind of do more. But then besides that, there was like full productions of things, and I don't even think they did any musicals. I think they just did straight
Lame.
theater. I'm saying.
Wow. I only want to do
saying.
gay theater. Always.
Same.
No, I'm kidding.
That's all I want to do. That's how I identify. I identify as gay theater.
Me too at this point. Yeah.
She theater.
Yes. Did you do musical theater as well?
Yeah, when did you
I do
start?
musical theater.
You still
yeah, in
do?
general, yeah. It's like
He was just in White Christmas. I just saw him in White Christmas.
she came
too.
to opening night on
Amazing.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah. So
Yes.
you're currently doing it.
I'm doing a show at the moment. Yeah.
fun.
He's done like so Drew and I feel like this is a good like refresher too.
Sure,
'cause
yeah.
We don't never talk about this,
Yeah.
but we studied abroad together in Seville.
In
Or-
Sevilla.
En Sevilla. En
En
España.
And
Durante
it's fun. Oh, it's nice.
Yes.
2007 into 2008.
I feel like that's when studying abroad was peaking.
It was
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
It was
100%.
peak vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The early 2000s was when I feel like everybody I know was in
Yeah.
Spain.
Everyone.
100%.
Everyone was
yeah.
It was just
Spain.
filled with
And it was,
American
everyone was like,
children.
I'm going to Spain.
I'm going to Spain.
Everybody-
The bags, the
Yeah.
España bags.
Oh yeah.
these
Oh yeah. And the
fun- oh
pants,
my
the
God.
like the
Chuck, what are they called? Chunk lace or something? I can't
those are
remember.
sandals. Those are sandals.
Oh, those are
You know,
sandals.
the chunkless are like the slippers that they like throw. Like
Oh,
those,
right.
But like I feel like even when all the stores have those same like striped pants. When you travel, you just like everybody's wearing. The same
everyone's wearing the
pants.
same
Yes.
thing.
We always made
I
fun.
love
It was like the man capris all over
Yes.
Spain.
Oh,
It was
man
just like every
capris
man
and
with their
just
shaved
zippers
legs
on every
and zippers
goddamn
and cargo
pockets,
pockets
and they're
like,
all like acid washed.
Yeah.
They're still like when they come to New York, you're like, that's a Tommy Hilfiger polo that's tight and 17 zip. You're
Yep.
from here.
You're from
Interesting.
You're from
Interesting.
here.
Yeah.
You're from out of town.
You're from another place. So that's where.
But
your
so
guys'
that's where
connection.
we met, and then you've been here, and then you.
Yeah, I've been in New
you-
York since
you
2005.
went to Fordham.
I went to
Nice.
Fordham University.
Oh,
Not a
nice.
theater major. I was a Spanish and international studies major.
It's
Oh,
also
cool.
Spanish and international studies. Look at how much.
Really?
What'd you write
used
your
that.
thesis about?
Oh wow.
Oh, I got cancer senior year, so I got like a kind of pass.
She was like, no, this is for me, kids.
Good for you.
I went to the department head. I was like, "Tengo cáncer.
Tengo cáncer.
Yeah.
Tengo cáncer.
That's
Muy, how do you say sick? Muy
Enferma.
enferma.
enferma. Muy
Enferma.
That is
Muy
so not funny, but funny.
It's so funny.
Tengo
funny.
cáncer.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And they're like,
tengo
okay.
They
Tengo
were like,
cáncer.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you're like, look, I am learning.
I literally.
I'm using the language.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I'm doing it.
Literally just lived in Spain for a year.
Yeah. And now you're doing theater.
And now,
Yeah,
but then,
it was
yeah,
kind of
so
always
then
the
we
plan.
we stayed connected because
Yeah.
he was coming through. I was living in Chicago at the time, but you
Yeah.
were in Jesus Christ Superstar, Tootsie.
Yeah.
You've been in like
I did
what else
Tootsie on
have you
Broadway,
done?
and we did it out of town
You
set in
did?
Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Tootsie on Broadway.
You saw me then.
I think I saw. Wait, no, Tootsie. No.
You saw Doubtfire, the other musical about a man dressing
But
up as a woman.
I was trying to think of in the same theater. Yes, but I was trying to think of. It was Doubtfire. That was my first show back post pandemic, and I
it,
saw the
okay.
opening night first. But Tootsie, I actually love Santino Fontana. I think
I
he's
love
amazing.
Santino. He's amazing.
I was like I think I won the lottery, so I think I was like in the second row or something.
Oh my god,
like that.
amazing.
Yeah, I was there.
No, you would have seen me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Like
That's
incredible.
so funny.
Yes.
And so it was just in White Christmas. So fun.
Yeah, so I'm doing White Christmas out at the Paper Mill Playhouse, if you know
You
it.
have to be on my podcast.
Oh my god, I would
I
love
mean,
to. Done.
obviously.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Okay.
Done.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's
so
Broadway, bitch.
Yeah,
This is a
it's
crossover
Broadway,
that
bitch.
no one asked for, but you're gonna
I
get.
love that.
It's so good.
That's
and
so
then
exciting.
and then there's so many. I mean, so many of our guests.
Our
too
musical
have
theater
been-
peeps.
Our musical theater.
She's bringing in all the comedy
love
people. I'm bringing in all the musical theater people.
I
It's
love
like-
that.
It's like my whole
They're
community.
the only two communities that matter.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Honestly?
Correct.
agreed.
That
Correct.
are fun.
Yeah.
Have anything to say.
I love it.
I
oh
love
my
it
God.
too.
But
I love
count
it.
me in.
So
I'm
good.
there in a heartbeat.
Okay, I love it.
Absolutely.
I'll send
We
you
can-
dates.
I love this.
We'll
Cross
gosh.
Send you
promo.
dates.
We'll Broadway gush.
Yes,
I love
yes,
it.
we will. Yeah.
Cross promo. Okay, so we're gonna switch gears
Yes.
into our muddy topic for today,
Oh, so much.
which we
I'm
love.
excited about this
I
one.
am too.
I was
know, I love
looking at the
this.
topics that you guys had, and I was like, I can relate to all of them. But I was like, what is something that like I am in, like talk to my therapist? What is my reoccurring theme? And I saw that this wasn't. I mean, it's kind of broad, but I saw that it hadn't been done, so I was like, maybe this could be.
It's a great
because
idea.
there's a lot of things about it.
There's a lot going into
It's
it.
very- there's a lot.
So you wanted to talk about the muddiness of being a good person.
Being a good person.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
like, what does that mean?
Who is that?
And like,
Who is
yeah,
it?
what is that? Who is that?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like,
TBD.
have I? But like, because
Yeah.
who knows? Like,
Yeah.
So there's so much to it but it's like one of those things, those reoccurring things. And like, I remember, like, I think I got like really drunk with my dad one time, and I was like, I'm just not a good person. He's like, what do you even like? What do you mean by like?
Yeah.
So, and I know I've talked to my therapist about it, being like, I just don't know if I'm a good person, and sometimes I just feel like a bad person. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's more that it's not even like. I don't know if I'm a good person, but just when I'm in my like darkness, I'm like, I'm a bad person. And I have no reasons. I just kind of like, it's just, that's my like default.
Okay.
It's like, I'm a bad person.
You're a bad person.
You know what I mean?
Was it always the default?
I don't know. Like, I don't know where it came from, but I know it's like clearly something, because if you're, when you're drunk and you get sad about something, you're like, this is something, because like, this is the honest. And I was just like, I'm just a bad person. And he was like, I don't even know what you mean by this. And I was like, I'm just a bad, like, not like, I'm not stealing from people, but I think there's just an innate something that like, maybe I could be doing more to be a better person. And so then maybe in my mind that equates to being a bad person. So if you're not doing
more to be a better, like, it's almost like you have to combat, like you're always being pulled down into this
to bad
pit
person
of like
territory.
to bad
Yeah.
person, and
Yeah.
if you're not actively like climbing up the good person ladder.
Yeah, because like I often think like I have amazing friends that do incredibly nice things for me, and then I sit there and I go, what did I do to deserve this? And like clearly it's something, because I don't think people do, like I'm like, obviously I've been a good friend, but then there's part of me that's like, like especially like later in life, you feel like I'm not as good with like sending cards, calling on time, and doing these things.
Same.
Do you know what I mean? Where I think I at some point was very good at this. So there's parts of those that come up and I'm like, oh my God, am I even a good friend anymore? Like, am I too busy? Am I too tired to be a good friend? Because like there's an option to call a friend. There's also an option to scroll. And sometimes I'm like, the Bake Off, I'm just doing things. I'm just doing
Are you caught up?
I'm caught up.
We can't talk about it. We can't talk about it.
No, but I think it was deserved. I think it was the right choice.
Okay, great. Yeah.
For what the finale was.
Are you caught up?
I'm not.
Okay.
I know.
Get there.
I will get there. Let me get
Thank
there.
you.
I'll get there tonight.
But it's truly though, that's the show that makes me feel better. Those are good people.
They're wholesome.
Those are good people.
Those are good people.
Good they are.
English people are good people.
Americans would be
English
like,
bakers.
that fucking asshole beat me with their
That's
trifle.
why that show is.
Yeah.
That's why the American Bake Off isn't as fun, because it's like I also keep hitting my mic. I'm sorry.
It's
that's
okay.
all right. I keep being like, I feel like American Bake Off, it's so much more competition. They're so like they're not as fun, but like it's really cute when English people get flustered. They're just like, oh shoot,
well, it's not shoot. It's like,
buttons.
bibbly bobs.
Yes,
Yeah.
You're just like that was
Bibbly bobs, yeah.
That is
The most
that's the
adorable
kind of
bibbly
go-to.
bobs.
That's the kind of go-to British.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Bibbly
so
bobs.
okay, I want to figure out though, because you said you have friends who are really good people. What when you picture one in your mind, and like what are some of the things that they do for you that you consider good?
Like I had, when I was pregnant with Goldie, I had a baby shower, and 3 of my best friends live in Hawaii, mind you.
Okay.
And one and the other one's in Seattle. They all came. It was in California, so it wasn't like like New York obviously is very, but they all came. They threw me this amazing shower. They planned it. They paid for everything. It's like they did such an incredible job honoring, and it took us a long time to get pregnant. And I know that they were all, they were there for that and stuff like that. But it's just like that thing where I'm like, I've always felt financially, like if I was financially secure, I would be a really good friend, because I would be like sending, like I would constantly try to do little things for my friends. I would constantly just want to like pick up checks and do that. And I've never been that place in my life where I have friends that are, and they've really taken care of me in ways that, like, I took a girls' trip to Palm Springs, and I was like, I can't afford the hotel, so they're like, we'll pay for the hotel. And they're fancy, and we're at a fancy place. And so it was like, it wasn't cheap, and they've done this for me. And I'm just like, am I, like, you kind of are like, am I doing things on an equal level for you that you were doing for me? And then there's parts of me that are like, I was on this particular trip, I was like weaning off of breastfeeding. So I feel like my hormones were like, Rah! So I was like, oh my God, am I just like, I left that trip being like, we had so much fun, but I was like, was I a total fucking bitch because my hormones were crazy and they were doing all this nice stuff to me? And I was like, my boobs were leaking, and like, like my head was just like back and forth as to like, am I as good a friend to them as they were being to me? And like, I constantly struggle with that because, like I said,
the scales of
what I've done. And clearly it's like, I think I've done something, because this is why people like, we want you to be here. So we're going to pay for you. Yeah. But in my heart, I'm like, I think it's just like the negative talk about yourself.
Of course.
Totally.
You know, where you just are like, who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
You're not.
Absolutely.
You're not.
No, I think there's
And you're
something so to that, because I have that same thing where I'm like, or someone who will I have friends who will reach out to me constantly to check in, to be like, how are you? And I'm like, oh, I don't reach out at the amount that you guys do. I'm like, am I bad? Like, I'm not checking in with you the same way that you're checking in with me, and I feel really guilty about it, and then I'll apologize and be like, thank you so much for being this great friend, and I'm sorry that I'm not checking in as much. And then I'm like, well, rather than apologize, just do it. Like, just check in.
Just do it. I know.
Just do the check-in.
I know.
And then I don't.
I know.
And I'm like, oh, I suck. But then it's like, listen, we're adults. We're not in our 20s. Like, we are adults, and I feel like there are people in my life who I'm like, when the friendship really like dips, when I'm like putting more in than what I'm getting out, that's not a person that I invest my time in anymore.
Right.
So my thought is like, if I am dropping the ball in a friendship, like, especially the caliber of the people I spend time with, they're either gonna tell me, or they're just like not gonna keep me around.
They're not gonna hold it against you.
Right. Or not hold it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think the best friends are the ones that like you could go 2 years without talking to, and when you pick up the phone, it's like nothing's changed. Like,
Literally.
Like my best friend, it's like we won't talk on the phone, and she'll text me. She's like, "What's the name of that one thing?" And I'll be like, "This," and then we won't talk again for another 5 months.
Yeah.
But like, there's no like, "Hey, I know it's been a while." Like there's no pretenses. It's just like
it's a comfort.
We know we're good.
Yeah.
And when we're good, we're good. Like we're together, we're good. Things like that. But I get that too, where sometimes. As you were saying that, I just remembered that this year I have an aunt who's schizophrenic, and she lives in a group home in San Diego. And I always want to be better with contacting her, because she's like, every holiday, every birthday, I have a card 2 weeks in advance. And her birthday is either today or tomorrow. And I set a literal reminder on my phone that was like, get Auntie Julie's card out on time. And as you're saying that, I go, I didn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but
do it now. You do it today.
Yes. So I got to call my sister, because my sister's in San Diego. So I might be like, you need to go drive.
Let's call Auntie Julie right now.
Right
Get her
now.
on the phone.
Right now.
Right now.
Phone a friend.
It's actually
Hey, Auntie
she's the easiest person to call, because the conversation is like 38 seconds.
Yeah.
She goes to sleep at 5 p.m. Like, you just call her.
Yeah.
It's
It
like,
takes it's the anticipation, and then you do it, and you're like, it's.
she always sends a card on time, and I always like am scrambling the day of to get like some kind of like 1-800 flowers to her place, and I'm just like,
edible
this
arrangement.
time,
Yeah.
I was like, it's got to be. I was like, I'm gonna do it on time, and I was just like, and you still didn't. And it's things like that where you're like, it's an easy thing.
Yeah.
Why that? I have a fucking card at my house.
Yeah.
I am a letter. Are you a letter
have a card,
writer?
an envelope, and a stamp.
I have all of it.
I know.
All of it.
I
All
have
the supplies
all
are
of
there.
it. Everything I could possibly need.
Do you like to write letters?
So I used to be a big like card sender.
Yeah, I
letter
love.
writer. All like
I love it.
I had stickers. I would make all these things. I did it for like, I'm saying like St. Patrick's Day fucking things. Be like, hey,
Happy Earth Day.
Yeah, I had a job in this Boston one time, and me and her both just like had these 2 years where we were really into it. So when it was slow at work, we would just sit and we'd sticker cards, and we would just mail shit to people, and it's like it's fun to get mail.
Getting a card in
I
the
know.
mail. I
I've
have this
always wanted to get
idea.
back into it.
This holiday, I have like 7 best friends from college, and what I want to do is send each of them a package with pre-addressed and stamped envelopes to everyone else in the group,
So we could all get mail.
so everyone can get mail.
I love
that.
So I think I'm going to do that, and
Do
now
that.
I officially am held accountable.
Yes, there you go. We're gonna do it.
Add it to the to-do list.
Add it to the to-do list.
But no, it's fun. I love to shop for a card. I love to get the stamps. I love to it's so fun.
See,
love it.
that's why you're a good person and we're bad people.
Yes, and I did want to bring that up.
That you're a good person?
I feel similarly though. Like I'm gathering that we're very similar, aside
think
from the
so.
Broadway thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
in the way
yeah,
that you're self-talking to yourself,
Yeah.
especially about am I good, am I bad?
Yeah.
We talked about this very briefly in another episode where I said my biggest thing that I'm always trying to figure out in therapy is reconciling the 3 different versions of myself. There's the version, I'm just being redundant because we already said this on an episode, but the way that people perceive me, the way that I perceive myself, and then what is the reality in between.
Right.
Because there is such a massive disconnect between the way that my friends talk to me or talk about me, and then the way that I talk to myself and talk about myself.
Yeah.
I'm so apologetic, and I think that I'm a bad person. I'm like, I'm a terrible family member. I can't even respond to a group text. That's another thing. It's so easy. you can just respond to a group text, but I can't do it.
I
It drives me
understand.
insane.
I understand.
If like people will
Yeah.
call me, I won't call them back. I'm a terrible friend. But then like when someone's going through a breakup, I know how to drop everything and show up and be like, we're getting drinks and we're talking about this. So then I'm like,
Yes.
well, maybe I am a good friend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
Like,
show up when it matters.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean,
think so too.
and I think the people that stick around are the ones that know, like, yeah, I don't.
But don't take offense
They
when
don't
you
take
don't answer the
offense,
phone.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like know that like, yeah, that you're not always going to text back. But if somebody was like, I have an issue, I have something happening, you're going to be like, I'm there. Like I think there's a difference between like reaching out to reach out and be like, hey, blah, 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 and reaching out when you are like in peril and responding to that. Like, yes, like I have friends that I text and they don't like, you know, it's like, if it's something mundane, she won't text back. But if I'm like, this is going on, it's like, there's an immediate phone call, you know? So I think that that's okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's okay. It's just, it is a weird balance because in your head, you're like, I could have just answered the phone. I'm doing nothing.
I know.
But also it's like, I don't know.
I'm tired. I don't want to
I'm
talk on the
so
phone.
tired.
I never want to
think-
talk on the phone.
I hate talking on the
I
phone.
chalk up
hate
everything
talking
to
on the
self-care. I'm like, I need my silence.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's time.
Literally all day yesterday, I was having this really rough day yesterday, and I have so many friends that are like, call me, like, call me when you're having this day.
It's exhausting
And I'm like,
sometimes.
but it's exhausting calling someone and being like,
I'm having a hard
"Hey,
time."
I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
Do I feel better every time? Almost always. But also it's like the threshold of like what it takes to make that call
Yeah.
I know.
is more energy than what I have
Yeah.
to give. Or just like the silence. I'm like, I truly am like, I just don't want to talk right now.
I don't want to
Yeah.
talk.
Just don't want to talk.
I think as you get older too, it's like less and less, which is funny because like, you know, there's more and more podcasts.
Every day.
I think none of us
every
wanna
day
talk, but
someone
all
else
of
has
us
a
want to.
podcast. Yeah.
We've got a cast.
We've got a pod.
Got a cast.
But besides
truly.
like doing something like this, I'm like, I'm out. Like the older I've gotten, I'm like, the less because I feel like it's probably all of us have been like the person at like a party that is like, tries to keep the conversation going. Like it like makes like is kind of always on. And like
the personality.
the
I think
per-
all
the
of us are the
personality.
personality.
Well, we all work in entertainment. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
But like the older I get, the more I'm like, I want to sit and watch and I want
Yeah.
to sit back. And it's just almost like you just can't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you're kind of like, this is the role that you've taken on for your whole life. But so that's why like sometimes when I'm just home and the phone's ringing, I'm like,
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
they don't know I'm not busy.
yeah.
They don't know.
I'm so busy.
But then you get those thoughts because you're like, what if,
Whatever, I should've
what if
done
this,
this.
what if this, especially if it's like your parents or something
Yeah.
like
I've
that.
been
Like
in
my
the
mom calls
lately
and I'm
been
like,
in the like, just pick it up. Yeah. You love everyone. You love them.
you love them.
You love them.
They're getting old.
They are.
I know.
I
Yeah.
know. But this was the other thing I was saying about like good and bad is like in terms of like acts and like these things that we're like, okay, if you do this, does it make you a good person? Kind of essentially some of these like good deed acts you do kind of in secret. Do you know what I mean? Like I said that to you because and then if you talk about them, it kind of makes you not a good person because then
Yeah.
you're like, praise me.
Like the TikTok people that are like
Praise
filming
me.
themselves handing $100 to a homeless person. And
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so
Yes.
deeply uncomfortable watching
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like so it's kind of like there's moments like that where I'm like, we're in my head when I'm battling. Am I good or bad? Where I'm like, but I help strangers and I have self-awareness and I don't stand on top of the stairs when people are trying to walk. You know, like I think about these other things that I deem bad people behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Slow walkers, those monsters.
Just get
Absolute.
Just
Give
move.
me your legs.
Yeah.
Move.
Talk about terrible humans.
Move.
Yeah.
Bad.
Absolutely.
They're in my way and they're
Yes.
terrible people.
They are.
Yeah.
They deserve to die in a fire. But and I'm like, I'm a person.
But it
some
is.
people-
I remember like, I don't know why this stuck with me forever, but like, it was this idea of like, why do you, like everything we do is selfish, essentially. Like, no matter what
course,
deed you
yes.
do, it is selfish at the end of the day. And it was like, well, what about like doing something good for someone else? And it's like, well, how do you feel when you do that? And it's like, well, you feel good. It's like, so are you doing it because it makes you feel good or because it like actually helps? Or is it both?
There's so much, and then there's also no good deed goes unpunished. Because also sometimes you do something and you're like, and there was a lady one time standing at the bottom of the stairs. She had a big old bag, and I went up to her as I do sometimes.
You're such a good person.
I'm amazing. And I just was like, do you need help? And she looked at me, she's like, did I ask for help? And I was like, got it.
Thank you.
And I was like, no, it's a big bag. She's like, I don't need help. And I was like, okay. But there's other times when people have needed help. And I watch men walk by women with strollers.
Yeah.
And I watch men walk by women with, and I'm just
Five.
like.
I had 5 at the top of the stairs in the subway.
They just
5 men. This woman was so clearly struggling, needing someone to help her, and 5 dudes bumped her as they walked past.
Yeah.
And I was like, may I help you?
Yeah.
And carried her cart down and just looked at them like, this, what a dunk.
It's very, very strange. So like things like that. So for every one of those 2, there is somebody that's like, don't touch my stuff. So it's like, it is, but all these acts, it's like we do in secret that you're kind of like, I think it makes me a good person. But it's like that episode where it's like, they didn't see me put the tip in the jar.
Oh,
you know?
You
it's
got
like the curb. It's like the curb where it's like,
100%.
Did you see me putting the tip in?
I
Did
do
you see
that.
me?
I do that.
We all do that.
we
You
all
have
do
to.
that.
We all do
I've
that.
never talked about that with people, but I do
100%.
that.
You have to
do
go.
that.
Being
You
like,
wait.
I'm hitting the 15% button
I know. Do you see
for the coffee.
Turn it around while I
Do
hit
you
it.
see me?
Yes.
Does everyone see me hitting the button?
Moonshine the other night, I was like, I got a crisp 5 for this tip jar, but I went to put it in, and he turned around, and I was like, not yet.
No.
Oh.
I always would.
Oh.
Yes. And I'm holding. I just hover. Okay.
And here it is.
Oh my
Because
God, that's
we
so
want
funny.
people to see that we. But is it like we want them to see that we are appreciating them, and then in turn, isn't that again something that we need for ourselves? It's such a fucking battle of like, am I good or am I show good or am I actually bad and I'm only doing this because this is what I think is good? Like it's very muddy. It's very fucking confusing. And at the end of the day, maybe we're all Hitler. I don't know.
But the alternative to that is that
Maybe
you're
we're
like,
all fucking Hitler.
probably at this point, yes.
Do you know what I mean?
But you don't want them to think that you're a bad person, because if they didn't see you put the tip in, then they're going to be like, asshole didn't tip me.
I know.
So it's still selfishly a moment of I either want to feel good or I want to not feel like the bad person.
Yes.
I do
Yes,
wish
there's
I
that.
had a little bit of the not caring what people think
Yeah.
about. I think that's the basis of this too, is very
Yeah.
much caring what people think about you.
And there are people you don't know, unless it's like the same coffee person you see every day.
Right.
And they're going to come in and eventually, like, dip their balls in it or something like that. Maybe.
Hot coffee? Cold coffee?
I get iced. A little wake up. Hello. Oh, yeah, I guess they wouldn't dip their balls in hot coffee. That's a good tip. You can get hot coffee and not tip. There'll be no balls in there. But yeah, I think that's true too. You just don't know how people perceive. Like
Casey Balsham, everybody.
But also, like you said, we're all inherently selfish. So it's like, is anybody, for us to even think that people are paying attention, that remember us or think about us the moment we leave,
yeah,
it's all part of it.
it is. It's so, nobody, that's the
Everybody's
thing that I
going
keep
through their
telling
own
myself
thing.
a lot is
Yeah.
like, nobody is watching
Nobody
you.
cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody fucking cares. Like,
Nobody cares about you.
Yeah, you have these moments that I still replay moments from like months ago. Or like, oh, I can't believe I said that. And you're like, they don't care. If I were to bring it up to them, they'd be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I stopped, and I still get like texts sometimes from people that I'm like, oh, I can tell you're in your head. Like that will be like, oh, I said that thing and it was weird. And I'll be like,
Yes.
And I always
Literally,
am like
what?
kind of, because I know what they're going through.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I'll be like, it's nothing. But like I've stopped doing that for myself because I realize like I'm the only person that's thinking about what they think of me. They're thinking about what so-and-so thinks of that. Like everybody's in their head about the same damn thing. So there's no need to like
Everybody is always thinking about like, what are they? And then, but if everyone is thinking that, then nobody is thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just
Nobody's thinking about you unless it really is truly like super offensive or you like physically hurt someone.
Yeah.
But then it is like it's all these little things that you're like, even though they might not have perceived it, it's still those little things that you're like, but I said that and I still feel like it was weird. And then it's like another reason to judge yourself and to be mean to yourself, to be like, I can't believe I fucking said that. That was really weird. And again, they're not thinking about it, but it's a reason for me to punish myself and think that I'm a bad person.
Do you look for reasons to punish yourself?
Why not?
I mean, it's so fun. It's so easy to do.
It's
How I
easy
got
when you
this
get into
far in
the
life,
habit of it.
being absolutely
Flawless.
nowhere. No, I think so. I think it's like it's the same principle as like, fear of failure, fear of success. It's like fear of feeling good about yourself. I don't, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
Like it's like that same, maybe it's the same thing that drives you to like not try things is the same thing that that feeds your need to put yourself down because you just don't think you are good enough or that you're worthy or you know. And I think that because it's very obvious when somebody does think that they are worthy because they are kind of a dick, but they're also successful.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard to watch them to be like, this guy is so fucking he's so unaware.
Yeah.
But you're like, he's also probably
Crushing
living
it.
out his dream.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
Yeah.
And here I am wishing I was doing that, but I'm scared about what people think and about all this and am I good enough? And you know, it's like, it's such a crazy thing that it's just so much easier to be bad to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How would you define?
Scary. It's very scary.
This concept of like good person, bad person. How would you define good person? Because I think there's a question that we added on the sheet about religion and like you know is there I guess how would you define good or bad? Because there are varying different standards. There's Mother Teresa, good person. Yeah. And then there's also
Gandhi, good person. And then you look at Gandhi and you're like, you were beating the shit out of your wife.
Oh my God. Like, all those self-help gurus, the Tony Robbins, all of them.
Yes.
They're all dicks.
All toxic in some capacity.
But they've helped other people.
And then also I think about like
person?
Catholicism where it's like, be a Catholic, be a good person. And it's like, well, you're fucking kids. So
also,
like, what are we doing?
Or Christians and then they hate everybody.
And they hate everybody.
Yes.
Like,
and
it's
it's
like,
just
what is the...
Yeah, religion I think religion is such a crazy thing right now.
As it defines morals and values.
Yeah, because it shouldn't, because it's like, it's so far in the, like things are so different that anybody that's still living their life based on this thing that was written how many fucking years ago when like, you know, the internet didn't even exist. It's like, we have the internet, we need a new Bible. Mm-hmm. We need an internet inclusive Bible. Yeah. But do you know what's so funny is that I did go to Catholic school. I worked at a Catholic camp. Religion was part of my, and I'm not Catholic, but religion was part of...
Yeah, you're Jewish.
We're Jewish, but I was baptized Lutheran. Like there's a lot
we
of...
got some...
There's a lot of shit.
There's a lot of shame and goodness and badness
There's
sprinkled
a lot.
in there.
But when I was younger, whenever I would say, oh God, under my breath, I'd say, gosh, I would feel bad for saying God or hell.
I do that
under my breath. I'd go, heck.
When I'm typing, I'm like, do I capitalize God or do I lowercase it? And then if I'm in a rush and I lowercase it, I'm like, God is like,
put some
I'm a
respect
proper noun.
on my name.
You should have given me a capital G.
Yeah.
How dare you? I do the same thing.
Yeah. When I was younger, I really felt like there was something that was bigger than me that was like kind of clocking my every move. And then
we saw that.
As I got older, that was like not a thing. Like I still believe in something, and I believe in like karma, and again, like
energy,
I do, and again, like and that sometimes, you know, the universe provides and things like like it's gotten a little more like it's gone from like it's gone from like believing in God to like now I just have a salt lamp, and I'm like I feel like this is the same thing. We are spiritual in the same way now. I have a salt lamp. I used to be God. There's energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
absolutely.
Like, pull a tarot card in the morning and be like, let's see what happens.
That's great. Yeah.
Like truly before I took my pregnancy test when I was pregnant with Goldie, I think I pulled like the tower, which is where like everything is. Yeah. And I was looking up, I was like, your life's about to fucking change. And I was like, this can't be good. But then it was like, I was pregnant. I was like, okay, give me, you know, and so like.
Tower, it doesn't mean destruction necessarily. Well, it means like, it can mean, just like.
mean like the house is on fire because things are going to change or whatever. But.
Little phoenix rising.
Yes. So religion used to be, but I think like a good person, it is, I just feel like there's certain people that when you meet them, you're just like, there's a trusting sense. You know?
I feel like I have a couple people in my life who are just like lighthouses. Like, you know, when you meet someone and you're like, oh, your energy, you're just, you radiate. You radiate goodness. You're kind and you are very thoughtful. You think about other people.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I'm like, I'd love to be more like you.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. Because it comes from the inside. They're just like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just said, like, I hope that you know that about yourself. Like, I hope you don't go home and are, like, different. And the bad people are, like, Gen Z, you know?
All of them.
The kids. They're so stupid. They're dumb.
Tommy spaghetti.
They're just dumb. No, bad people, I think, are, like, besides the bad, the murderers, the people that are doing bad, the politicians, these bad people, I think just people that have that, that lack of, like, that lack of awareness for other people. I think people that are considerate of people are good, and people that are not considerate of other people are bad. Like in the simplest terms, like you said, the people that just don't understand that other people exist, that just have no clue how
outside of themselves.
Outside of themselves. Those people just, but then yeah, it's like sometimes I feel like it's on me to like overcorrect for these people, you know, like this is a big thing pre-pandemic. I would talk to my therapist about. I was like, if somebody's standing in the train door, I take it on myself to push them, to let them know that people need to walk in. And how could you be so stupid to think that you are not blocking? Or if somebody's sitting in the middle, I take it on myself to make sure to ask them to scoot up. Like I would like feel the need to right these wrongs. If somebody is loud in a theater, I am the shut the fuck up person. If somebody like
this is why people have you around.
This is I am like the person that is like, I will right the wrongs for the world, for all of us. And then you're like, sometimes that can go a little too far, and then people are like, but you kind of seem like an asshole. like you've kind of gone too
I thought
far.
when
Well,
you
then
meant
you're Karen.
people holding the door
I'm
in
a
the
Karen.
middle, I thought you meant like, I will push them off of the train.
No, like
people
no.
holding the door open.
No,
is what I
no.
thought.
Oh no, when people are
like,
standing,
the door's open,
and
you're like,
the
can
door's
I
open.
get by you?
You have a backpack on and you're standing. You're not
The lack of spatial awareness in this city
That
makes me.
It triggers me to know. And but then again, it's like those times where you push. And then one time I pushed a guy and he just laughed at me, and I was like, it is probably pretty funny, you know, that I'm just some girl that's like, move for all of us. And he's like, all right, little lady.
Move
Yeah.
for society.
We're trying to get on the train. I need to go to Bryant Park. You know, and he's like, I'm
like,
going to
"Chill
wait.
the fuck
Like,
out."
I don't have a job, but I'm very busy. You know, it's like that's like the you know, like that's the
That's
this is
the
the
vibe.
hero I'm trying
That's
to be.
the vibe.
Like, let us sit
And
down.
that makes you a good person.
Honestly, you are a good person for
but-
that.
but-
we
but
need
it-
more of that.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll
Especially
I'll get
in
back
lady
on my
form.
crusade.
Yes.
Yes, but then it gets a little scary, you know.
It's
the lady.
tricky though, because there's I feel like me and most of us live in the gray area. It's the good and it's the bad. And it's really complicated when you have someone, it's, you know, how do we feel about forgiveness or allowing someone
Grace.
like a grace or a
Space,
reconciliation,
yeah.
you know, like, I don't know, for example, it's like my stepfather was a fucking awful asshole human being. But then I also got so much like love and care and compassion from him. Every artistic ounce of me comes from him. I got
Yeah.
so much like life and advice from him. And so it's kind of like, was he a bad person or was he a good person?
That's tough.
He's both.
Yeah,
Like
both.
it's really tricky. And I feel that way about myself too, is that I'm like, oh, I'm a bad person, but actually I think I'm a good person because of this or blah, blah, blah. But that's why it's such a muddy, tricky question, because where do we all fit? And then when it comes to forgiveness and when someone's done something bad, you know, how do you, like, especially our criminal justice system, like, how do we feel about the death penalty? Like, there's so much grayness there that's complicated that I don't know the answer to.
No, that's like that's very big in terms of like, that's like that's
It's deeply
on
philosophical.
on
like,
on a bigger scale. I mean, I do think, I'm kind of grudgy. There's like people that if you're an asshole to me
I'm
this
very
many
grudgy.
years ago, like, but my husband always points out, he's like, there's all these people that like you say you hate, but then like the minute you talk to them and like you'll be like, let's have a sleepover. You know, like there's a lot of people that I
Oh my God, it's so good to see you.
well, not
Like,
I give them their moment to show me who they are after they've done this the one time. I will give them another moment.
You're a one time and then a chance. But if someone wrongs you a couple times,
I try not to be too fake. And like if I've talked shit about you, I try not to give you a hug. Like, you know, if I have said I don't like you, I try to
stick to not liking
you until you are like kinder or whatever. But it is also tough because at the end of the day, you are just like we're in a business where there's a lot of people we don't fucking like. Like there's a lot of people that are a little like
complicated
technique people.
Yeah.
But I do think like for big things, forgiveness is big. And it's also like, you know, being married, it's like there's a lot of things that you just have to kind of, because I think I have held on to so much stuff, and I have a lot of stuff with my mom, and I've held on to so much stuff. And it's just like at a certain point, like, you know, people are like, once you have a Donnie, you'll figure it out. And I'm like, she's not going to change anything. But then she did. And my mom came one time, and I just like, it was like every time I saw her, I'd nail her for all the things she had hurt me for. The same things over and over and over again. We were living the same thing until finally I just went, I have to forgive you for everything, because it's not serving me anymore to hold on to this. Like I have to let it go, but those are like big things. I think
forgiveness, but I think it's also important to give forgiveness to people, not for the acts that they did that harmed you, but for you to release it.
I was like, I can't keep like
Can't carry this.
every time you leave, I feel bad because I was treating you like shit because I'm so mad at you.
Yes.
And that's not like, and then in turn, then I'm like, I'm a bad person. Like she's just trying to exist and she's just trying to have a relationship with me. And I'm still like, remember when you gave away my Barbies and I wanted to give them to my daughter? And like every time I saw her, she was just like, I'm fucking sorry.
Sorry, it was
like
40 years
sorry.
ago.
I'm still, it's still something, but I've gotten over it. The Barbies are in the Philippines with needy children, so she says. She told me she gave them to the Philippines. I was like, oh.
Well, I'm happy that the Philippines has your Barbies.
I hope you enjoy every single one of the New Kids on the Block. All of them. I had all of them. Oh my gosh. Shit. But it was like, it wasn't, I was so upset every time I acted this way out of my anger for not forgiving, that then that made me feel terrible, like an awful person to be like, this is an old woman who has dealt with some serious illnesses. You know, she's bipolar, alcoholic, manic. She didn't choose to be sick. And I was like, you fucking bitch. You know, it's just like, it was just not, she did so many things that hurt me, but at the end of the day, if anything is gonna, like, you have to forgive. So it's like big things like that. But then there are like the little pettiness that somebody does, like, you know, that you're just like, this person I think is gonna always be a little bitch. But like I think the people that matter in your life, the forgiveness needs to happen for yourself. For yourself, you know?
I agree.
I love that.
But if this little bitch did something, then you'll always be a little bitch. But mom, I forgive you, you know?
Yeah.
It's like things like that.
Exactly.
So
This little bitch went to market.
This little bitch. But the big bitches, you gotta forgive. Things like that. Does that make sense?
It does.
I think
that
that's like a
anecdote?
perfect place to
wrap it
wrap
up.
her up.
Big bitches forgive. Little bitches,
That's your next merch.
big bitches and little.
That's on your next
love
tote
it.
bag.
Forgive the big bitches.
Forgive the big bitches.
Forgive
Keep the
big
little
bitches.
bitches
Keep the little
away.
bitches away.
You get it. You know what I mean.
Love it.
All
All right, we got to get that iPad.
Gotta get the iPad. And we're gonna do our
rapid fire.
rapid. All right, ready?
Mode.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Rapid fire. 3, 2, 1.
Eat one cockroach or go through 7 years of IRS tax audits.
One cockroach.
Would Ariel from The Little Mermaid make it on Broadway?
Yes.
Is Kermit the Frog gay?
Bye.
Kill, fuck, marry. Paper towels, butt wipes, Q-tips.
Oh man. Okay. I will kill butt wipes because I can use toilet paper. I'm gonna marry a Q-tip and I'm gonna fuck. What was the last one? Paper towels.
Yeah.
I'll fuck up some paper towels.
Sick.
Say
all
Happy
about the
Monday. Say Happy Monday and your best Miss Piggy.
What? Oh, what does she sound like? Oh, what? She doesn't bark, does she? Happy Monday.
Oh, that was really
that
good.
Miss Piggy?
Insane.
That was really good. I always like, she always like does the cry.
I was a big Muppets Take Manhattan girl.
Oh my God. Okay, 5 more. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Facial or massage?
Massage.
Carrot cake or chocolate cake?
Chocolate cake.
If you could magically choose any other career path in life, what would it be?
I want to be the first female umpire.
Ooh, okay. Would you rather be able to read people's minds or the ability to be invisible?
Mines.
Do you think dinosaurs had gorgeous long hair or feathers?
Ooh, I'd like to believe they had gorgeous long hair.
Great. And favorite
Great.
cheese? I think that may be 11.
Favorite cheese?
Yeah.
All of them. Every single one of them.
Good answer.
All
Cheese
of them.
gal.
I live in it. I bathe in it. It is me. I am it.
She's gal.
I'm a cheese cow.
Thank you so much. This
Thank you
was
guys. Should we do a little bit of should we do an LA?
LA. Namaste.
LA.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appropriate the namaste. Ew.
I'm just thank you for my work.
Yeah.
Where
And
can
let us say
our
you're a good person.
Yeah, you are a good person.
Thanks. So are you guys.
So are you.
And so are you.
So are you.
And so
Where
are
can our
you.
people find you?
I'm at KSpaceB on Instagram, CASEFACEB. I do have a parenting podcast called Never Not Tired, and it's Broadway Bitch will be debuting in the new year. So
I can't wait for Broadway Bitch. I'm
Oh
very
yes, and
excited for
find
Broadway
Drew.
Bitch.
Yeah. Oh, everyone.
it's gonna be so fun.
So
fun.
good.
So yeah.
Love you so much.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Thanks for
coming
listening.
on.
Folks.
We love you. Like, follow, subscribe. Yay.